Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7. Now today, got some more Epic 7 World Championships for you guys, and this time around we're going to be looking at the losers bracket yet again. Gwanggaeto and WinterWish facing off against each other. Gwanggaeto is the only representative from the Europe server, while WinterWish is from Global, and we're going to see this play out real time here. So, first picks coming in, Gwanggaeto starts with the ML Landy, which he has been favoring even in the main matches, which has been quite interesting. We're seeing the pre-bans are identical on both sides, Aola and Lua. Neither player wants to deal with them, supposedly, because I guess ML Landy is just easier to deal with than either of those two. So Lilius and Handguy coming out against the ML Landy, keeping the draft flexible, which is a very smart. You don't really want to commit too hard into fighting ML Landy, because you always want to leave the option of being able to ban her instead. Ocean Breeze Luca getting picked out along with Last Rider Crow. Last Rider Crow is typically a good pick into ML Landy. It's kind of hard to deal with when he's with ML Landy, especially because the fact that he deals a ton of true damage. Lionheart Surmia also getting picked up on Gwanggaeto. He's essentially just taking all of the counter picks away from WinterWish here. WinterWish only has one unit that's known to counter this ML Landy. Got the ML Bologna right there. They got Arwell for some damage mitigation and protection, but WinterWish opting to go for a Lethe pick. Rowana was the last pick for Gwanggaeto, and Ocean Breeze Luluka gonna get banned out. Lethe is also gonna say goodbye. This is really strange here because Gwanggaeto actually managed to snatch up pretty much every single quote-unquote counter to ML Landy in existence, right? So let's see if WinterWish can do it with just a solo DPS Bologna. The good thing is that between Bologna and Lilius, there's probably a good chance of having 100% uptime on that Vigor buff, which can prove to be quite useful, especially keeping the Bologna alive with the defense, and of course increasing her damage output with the attack. Now, ML Coward could actually just go for an S3 here. There's nothing on the opponent's side that can strip anything, so the immunity and the attack buff are going to be pretty safe on this Bologna, and we're going to see WinterWish do just that. Now, LR Crow is going to go for the S3. When Bologna is at max fighting spirit, she's going to counter-attack, or do a little extra attack, I should say, to be technically correct. And that extra attack is going to, 1, heal up the entire team because of Rowana's passive, and 2, it's going to give Lionheart Surmia a ton of damage, which is going to be really bad. So we see here the stun coming in onto that Lionheart Surmia, little res check over there. Seems like she's built pretty standard in terms of her bulk and her resistance, and we're going to see the hand guy just trying to chip away at that Lionheart. So yeah, Bologna with the attack buff and vigor buff, she hasn't really done anything so far. Gonna go ahead and actually just soul burn the S3. You will notice that this Bologna is actually quite slow compared to most of the ones out there. I would say probably. Yeah, I don't really know what build she is on, but that was quite a bit of damage for a Bologna that hasn't had any stacks on her. Typically, you reach more damage once you get more stacks. She can stack her attack up to 5 times. But yeah, that was pretty impressive. So, Coward gets the lap around here. He does have an S2 available. Definitely going to try to go for that Landy there. No strip onto that Landy. Very interesting. She might actually... It could be 15%, but I think from witnessing Gwanggaeto's... Never mind. I take that back. I was like... pretty sure that he was the one that had a Landy that had a little bit of resist. But then again, WinterWish's Arwell might have a bit of effectiveness. And she also gets the effectiveness buff, so who knows. But yeah, this Bologna over here is slowly getting her stacks up, slowly creeping up on the combat readiness bar. If the Lilius can actually dual attack with the Bologna, it's going to be huge. There's still a 2-turn Vigor on her, and she has a 1-turn attack buff. Gonna go for that Rowana. Rowana's gonna be healing up quite a bit, especially see with this extra attack coming out here. Essentially, Bologna is doing no damage at all into Gwanggaeto's team. That's not gonna stop her. She still has her S3 coming up real soon, so there you go. It's off cooldown now, and the next turn we'll be able to see it. And it's because she's been soul burning her S3, which is a very smart move. Gonna be relying on her as a solo DPS. You really want her strongest hitting hit off cooldown as much as possible. Rowana's actually getting chipped down slowly here, which is really nice. Gwanggaeto definitely wants to get a salvo or something in so that this Bellona can keep using her extra attack for those heals. See Lilius, when she dual attacks, will also heal the Rowana, but the problem here is that See Lilius only brings one unit, and the damage that you can output from bringing Bellona vastly counteracts the amount that Rowana can heal. Right? Well, Rowana does better when you have an AoE extra attack or an AoE counter attack, something like Salvo, or for example the Bellona's S2 passive. And speaking of Bellona, look at that! 28k damage coming out from this Bellona, and that's it! Gwanggaeto goes down. That is insane. Wow. That Bellona was definitely built, I believe, on destruction and probably low speeds, right? Close to base speed, I would say. Yeah, that is insane. Absolutely insane. I wonder if WinterWish is gonna do this again. I mean, Gwanggaeto is going for the Landy with Arwell and Maid Chloe. So Maid is probably one of the better Soul Weavers to use in a standard team comp. Provides a lot of sustain, and her resistance actually is really important. This is why I think that Gwanggaeto's Landy actually does have a bit of resistance, probably not a whole ton, maybe around 70 to 100 resistance. And the reason I want to say that is she's been pretty reliably in the main matches resisting a lot of, you know, typically zero effectiveness units. Something like Handguy might have a little bit, maybe, you know, a few like 15 to 30% effectiveness on them. Some people do build effectiveness on him. But most of these high-level players, they're stacking bulk into him, right? They have ones that are 28, 30k health that are absolutely insane. So the hand guy getting resisted, I think is a sign that this Landy is built on resist. And with that Maid Chloe coming in here with an LQC as well, I can definitely expect some resist on these units. LQC is another unit that is pretty commonly built with a little bit of resist, 60 to 70% as well. It's because Maid Chloe with Shamadra's staff provides the whole team 40% resist between her passive and the artifact. And if she has a team imprint for the team as well, that's up to 50-something% resistance for everybody, which is absolutely insane. Yeah, so we'll see how this plays out. LRK also getting picked up on Gwanggaeto's side. We're seeing a really cool pick out of WinterWish's side, though, actually, two. We see Tywin and Arunka. Arunka's going to get banned out, which kind of makes sense, because Arwell's there, and the entire team is light. But Tywin's one of my favorite picks into Arwell, honestly. Tywin into Arwell is absolutely fantastic because if you have a solo DPS unit, Arwell can't stun that unit, right? If Arwell tries to hit that Bellona with a stun, she's going to get cleansed, get a barrier, and immunity, which is huge. Now, of course, you can use Arwell to still strip the buffs on those units, but it is not that valuable, right? Not as much value as you would get without that Tywin being there. And Tywin's cooldown on his passive is pretty short. It's like 2 turns. If you build him fast enough, he'll turn cycle enough to always keep up with the Arwell. So, Handguy's going to go ahead and attack buff the Bellona again. See, look how slow she is, right? Look at her in the back line right there. Super, super slow unit. And, yeah, the Handguy with his 50% combat readiness essentially just overtook her already, right? And the match has hardly started. So this is definitely a pure damage Bellona made to deal with the ML Landy. So we see LRK coming out with the first S3. Gonna be a lot of damage coming in. Thankfully, though, Tywin should be on some form of mitigation artifact and helping that Bellona survive. So, yep, you see here, the Arwell's going to come in, and there are plenty of buffs on this Bellona. You could definitely get rid of the defense buff and the attack buff, but Tywin just replenishes that barrier and the immunity, so there you go. One of my favorite pocket picks to use, so very glad to see him on the main stage here. Handguy going to go for the S2, try to strip that Landy, and again, see, there you go. No strips at all, that's a resist. I believe that the Landy is a resist Landy, and with the help of Maid Chloe, definitely going to be hanging in there. Okay, so we see the dual attacks coming in. Unfortunately, Lilius doesn't dual attack with the highest attack unit, so no Bellona is going to be dragged along here. And the Tywin is going to be instead. Tywin's S1 can actually strip buffs, but not sure what WinterWish's Tywin is built like, if he has any effectiveness at all, or if he put the stats into resist. But we see a pretty healthy Tywin overall, probably around 25-26k health. which is pretty good. Alright, so this match is, ooh, no stun coming out from that dual attack. That could have been pretty big. A lot of combat readiness for the team if that did happen. But gonna try again. No stun there. Tywin's S2 is still on cooldown, which means the stun would have been pretty valuable in causing Bellona to lose her turn. And she's about a third of her health down. Can be very, very dangerous at this point. If Landy can get a salvo or something like that in, it could spell disaster. So we see the Elbrus coming out. Actually, another counterattack coming from the Arwell too. Bellona's the sole DPS here, and don't know if she can keep up. She's built with around 18k health, as you can see there. Frenzy is going to, of course, take out a little bit of it as the match goes on. But yeah, she is now going to be at full fighting spirit, so the next hit from the opponent is going to cause her to get the extra attack here. She still has the vigor buff, which is pretty nice. Chipping away at the opponent. Landy lost a third of her health. Arwell's looking pretty low. And let's see what LRK is going to do here. Just chipping away. Okay. I noticed that they're not hitting the Bellona directly very often. I don't believe it is a counter Bellona though. For the stats that she has, I think it's probably on a destruction build. Now, these players are absolutely insane and they have the best gear in the world, so they probably can actually have a counter build with all of those damage stats. It's just much easier with a destruction set. Alright, let's see. Oh, the Landy's gonna go straight for the Bellona. Is she gonna go down? She does not go down. She's going to counterattack here. And look at that, healing up with the Sigurd Scythe. What a close call for WinterWish there. Gwanggaeto definitely wishing he built a little bit more damage onto that Landy. Alright, Soulburn S3 coming out with the Bellona, taking out the damage mitigation. Very, very smart here. There's no Rowana on the side of Gwanggaeto, so getting rid of that damage mitigation means that Landy essentially is going to be left defenseless. Of course, LRK is on the other side. He probably also has Aureus, but getting rid of Escort buff matters a ton. 10% extra damage mitigation from Escort is huge. Right, so let's see what this LRK is going to do now. He has his S3. He's probably going to rip it to see if he can deal more damage to this Bellona. May Chloe is going to be following up. So, yep, LRK is going to go ahead and Soulburn this. If Bellona does her extra attack here and hits the LRK, we're going to see, ooh, Tywin goes down from all that damage share. And yeah, see that cooldown reduction on that LRK. Ooh, Arwell goes down yet again. Bellona healing up to full. That is impressive. No stun coming out once more, and the hand guy gets to take the turn. He does have an S3 and an S2, so if he can lap, especially if he can overtake the Sea Lilius, or if he doesn't die to dual attacks here, he should be able to get an S2 going to, actually, no, sorry, that's his Lilius. Oh man, just look at the comment readiness bar, got me confused. Alright, yeah, so Lily is going to get that vigor buff on everybody, which is huge, right? Replenishing that for the Bellona. Vigor and attack is going to be great, especially for taking out this Landy. Once she gets a Soulburn S3 back up once more, she should be able to take out this Landy. Now, Soulburn doesn't increase the damage, it just decreases the cooldown of her S3, but it just means that she can keep dishing out damage onto that May Chloe afterwards and prevent her from reviving. Right, so we're going to see the Bellona come in. Oh, no, wait, she doesn't even need an S3. Look at that damage. Oh my god, the Landy is down, and that is going to be it. Gwanggaeto surrendering once more. WinterWish and that Bellona. Absolutely insane. Alright, well, let's keep on going here. Round number 3. We're going to see a clean sweep from WinterWish. Gwanggaeto actually opting to say, hey, I'm not going to pick on Landy this time around, getting way too punished by her. In fact, the first round you saw, he was playing super, super safe, just picking all the counter picks, right? He really, really wanted to secure that ML Landy, and it just goes to show you that the over-reliance on a single unit can get you punished really hard, especially if they are a meta unit like Landy, and people have the counters, people have specialized builds to take care of her, especially when you're talking about $50,000 on the line in this World Championship tournament. So Gwanggaeto's trying to flip the table on WinterWish here. Still going for a pretty standard team comp. Sea Lilius as an opener for the vigor buff. And then we got May Chloe and Bellona coming out. Now, Gwanggaeto seems like the type of player who uses May Chloe quite often. So you can kind of expect this Bellona to have a little bit of resist on her. Again, 60 to 70% is usually enough because May with Shamadric is 40%, bringing her up to 100, which means she can resist most casual debuffers. Right. So on WinterWish's side, though, we see something very similar to what Gwanggaeto had. The only difference is that WinterWish picked up a Sharoon. Sharoon is really great because she's typically built with a lot of effectiveness, and that can be used quite well into units like Mei Chloe that have strong buffs, right? Now we do see Gwanggaeto finish off his draft with 2 evasion units. We got Aiden picked out along with Rylet, and WinterWish just gonna have an easy Bryceria pick as the last unit there. She is gonna get banned. There's no way that Bryceria is gonna be let through with 2 evasion units on Gwanggaeto's side. And I don't know who would be banned here. I would say that the Bologna being banned would be pretty big, to be honest. But nope. Okay, taking out the Mei Chloe instead. Got it. The Mei Chloe would have had a pretty clutch revive that would be in there. So I guess WinterWish decided, nah, that Mei Chloe from the last round, didn't really want to deal with her. So now we have double evasion units with the Bologna. There's not a lot of mitigation on Gwanggaeto's side. His team is very fragile. Even with evasion, you typically want a damage mitigation unit on your side. While Vigor buff gives 30% extra defense, Thieves naturally have pretty low defense. So Ryla and Aiden won't really benefit from Vigor as much as Bologna would, for example. Meanwhile, on WinterWish's side, it's looking very safe. 2 support units in the form of Handguy and the Sharoon. We also have Arwal there helping out with the damage mitigation escort buff. And Landy as a DPS carry into this, I think could potentially work. Riley's going to go for the S3, see if he can hit the ML Landy. He actually has a 15% greater chance to crit than most other units because he has this Dark Element. And never mind. Ryla going down to a double crit from the Landy. That is absolutely insane. WinterWish showing that, hey, his Landy is pretty superior. Aiden gonna go for that S3. Also no crit there, 70% chance for WinterWish to see those white numbers pop up on the screen, which is very favorable for him. Bologna, I believe, is getting reset a little bit by the Sharoon, and now the Arwal is going to come in for the stun. Bologna poses the biggest threat to Landy at the moment. Aiden, having used her S1, is not really going to be able to do all that much. And honestly, with Bologna stunned here, I would say there's probably 0 chance of Gwanggaeto getting out of this one alive. With Landy on the other side, no mitigation, no Rowana, nothing of that sort on Gwanggaeto's team. Yeah, I just don't see how he can do this. This was probably the opportunity to pick more ML Landy counters against WinterWish. WinterWish's Bologna worked out really well because she was packing a ton of damage. I just don't think that Gwanggaeto's WinterWish is built for the same task. She might just be built more generic all-rounder build instead of just an anti-Landy build. But we see here, the focus fire on this Bologna is insane. And she is probably going to go down here to this Arwell. Never mind. Not going to go down there, but she is going to heal up quite a bit. There you go. Not enough damage overall, though, which I think is the problem. When you saw WinterWish's Bologna counter, right, she healed up to full. And this Bologna, even though she's only 14k health, I mean, she didn't heal up all that much. Gonna go for the S3 here, and we see the heals coming in. Oh, but no, that's not enough. Look at that, just getting taken down instantly. I feel like the Bologna was just a little too squishy, probably built with speed. I actually didn't check the combat readiness at the beginning of the match, but ooh, that has got to hurt because now Aiden getting hit by the Sharoon as well. This is not Gwanggaeto's match. Oh no, WinterWish now also getting the Landy S3, which Gwanggaeto has not been able to get in this tournament, and hitting the Aiden too! Gwanggaeto's just sitting there staring deadpanned at the screen, accepting his defeat. And there you go, WinterWish climbing his way out of the loser's bracket, almost there, but we got a couple more rounds to go. With that being said though, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe for more Epic 7 content. And until next time, take care.